Crouch, jump, and left click. Press them all at once to do a rocket jump. Crouch, but then let go, jump, and left click, and you go way higher. But how does simply letting go of crouch before you jump make such a big difference? Crouching also increases the knockback you get, so how would letting go of crouch actually make you go higher? The culprit? Unducking. For every movement a player attempts, we need to validate it. If the player tries to walk through a wall, we need to check if that's okay, then stop them. Similarly, when a player unducks, we need to validate that's okay. For example, if you were crouching through a vent, we can't let you unduck and burst through the top. So whenever you try to stand up from crouching, the game first checks for clearance 20 units above you. If there's nothing in the way, then you're allowed to stand up. If the game detects an obstacle, it forces you to stay ducked. But this check is only meant to happen while you're grounded. Jumping while unducking is blocked. If you try to jump out of a crouch, it's not allowed. So it'll be pretty bad if players somehow find a way to jump in the unducking state. Oh no, if you simply initiate a crouch but don't let it finish, then jump, you can bypass that restriction and jump while in the unducking state. And because of this oversight, your jump now has some strange properties that cause the extra rocket jump height. First, it forces you into crouch. On the ground, ducking shrinks your collision box downwards, which is why the check is for obstacles above you. But in the air, your feet tuck upwards, so the unducking check gets reversed to look for anything 20 units below you instead. As you jump, there's some time where you're still within 20 units of the ground, so you're forced to crouch. And second, your player origin isn't shifted upwards as it should. In a normal crouch jump, you essentially get teleported upwards when you crouch, because your player origin gets shifted upwards whenever you crouch in the air. But when you jump out of unducking, it doesn't. Since the unducking code was only expected to run when the player is on the ground, and ducking while grounded shrinks downwards, there is no change in player origin, so no need for code to shift the player origin. When it forces you into a crouch, it doesn't move your player origin, since the code for it literally doesn't exist. This essentially means you've bypassed the shift upward that should normally happen, and as a result, you're left ducked, extremely close to the floor. And because you're closer to the floor, you're simply closer to the rocket, and therefore take more damage and knockback from the rocket than usual. This is the bug the community nicknamed C-tapping, and why it happens. Bonus fun facts: any class can C-tap, and C-tap another soldier's rocket. Or any explosion in general. A C-tap jump is technically shorter than a normal crouch jump, since you don't get the boost upward from the player origin shift.
Press the keyboard and mouse fairly quickly